أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum everybody. I've got a wonderful guest today, Sister Hishama Siddeeq. She's done her BSc in Business Administration, Advanced Diploma in Marketing, Human Resources Professional. She is also a member at Landscaping Association of Sri Lanka. Besides, she is also have her expertise in the fields of agriculture, landscaping, and home gardening. Considering the time's need, we are honored to have her with us. Alhamdulillah. Sister Shazna, she will sum up the session for us, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Shazna. Over to you.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Jazakumullah khairan, Sister Sarah. I'm feeling very much privileged to be a part of today's program. So it can inspire, or it can be an inspiration to all our Muslim women out there. And I'm feeling very glad to warmly welcome our guest speaker today, Sister Hishama. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, Sister Hishama.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Nice to meet you, ladies. And I also thank Thasbeeh Media for organizing this event. This program. I hope that something from what I say would inspire our sisters to do more and encourage them in the fields that I have some experience in. And I would love to share my experiences, life experiences, as well as work experience and family life also with you all. So inshallah, let's have a good program.
Yeah, let's begin with the hope that you're doing well. And before beginning with the main thing, could you please give us a small brief introduction about yourself so that we get to know about you? So could you give us a small introduction?
I'm Hishama Siddeeq, and I go as Arafat also for my I'm married to Usaf Arafat, so Hishama Siddeeq Arafat, and I am currently in Colombo, residing. I pre-grade education in Thailand. So my parents moved out of the country as my father had a job in the United Nations, which was in Thailand. They were supporting the supporting and assisting refugees in the Cambodian conflict, and the refugee camps in Thailand. So we were based there. Mashallah, that was a really nice experience because I was brought up in a different culture when I was small, which is a bit different to us. So I have some of those values in me still. The Thai people are very nice people, and I love their food also. I still cook Thai food. So basically, I had my junior education, my pre-grade education there. Then since my parents identified the need for me to be closer to my roots, they sent me over to Sri Lanka to get my education in Sri Lanka and be more familiar with the languages here while they were still there. So I was living with my grandma, me and my sister. Initially, I went for a few years to Sujata Vidyalaya, Nugegoda, because I came other than Sujata Vidyalaya, and I'm very grateful for that. So after a couple of years, I moved over to Methodist College because all my siblings were already there. Over to Methodist College and there right up to A level. After I actually joined a company, in the sense it's a family company, and we were going under Kyalanka before. So our products were entirely different. I joined there as a trainee, just to help over with my parents. And well, since then, I've been with our family company throughout. But in the meantime, I've had my education as well. I was selected for uni, but I didn't want to sit around and waste time because they were having some issues there and some delays. So I started off with some other courses. And in the meantime, I did my BSc in Javadanpur University and also HR at IPM. I didn't do the PQHRM at that time because the university was giving one the subject. So then after that, I actually got into marketing because I was also interested in marketing. So I got my higher diploma, advanced diploma from ABE UK in marketing. So with all that experience, I was able to do a lot of things and support my company as well. Also, in the meantime, right after leaving school, I always, even in school, I wanted to do, I was very much into, projects and all that in school, not much into the academics, but more into projects and, interaction with people. So I really liked that. And when I left school also, I wanted to study a little more Islam, as I did Islam for my A-levels as well as a subject. So I wanted to, be in connection with that. And at that time, I was able to join Muslimah as a volunteer. So with Dr. Marinata Harifai, and I was like a fresh out of school. So I had more time to spend with her, and we used to, do a lot of projects those days. Mashallah, it was thriving at that time. So I used to go for her bayans, and then with auntie, it's not easy to escape with her. She's like, come, please get into this, do these projects. And so ultimately I got into them, and after some time I was in the committee for like a decade. Then now I have taken a break, and it's during that time that I met Brother Altaf during some of the projects. I believe it was the tsunami time. We were really rushed at that time. So during that time I met Brother Altaf and quite a few more in the social network as well. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity. I have taken a break now. I'm not much into social work at the moment because after getting my third child, I'm a bit tied up. So I'm just taking a low key at the moment, and I'm just helping out with our business. But we also do a lot of social projects through our business. So that's a small introduction about myself. I hope I have not left out anything. Is that sufficient?
Yeah, very sufficient, and that was a really nice one. And I love your introduction and everything about it. And it is quite interesting that you have mentioned your field of study, like your schooling has been different from the field of agriculture. And how did you come into the field of
Yes.
agriculture and your role in the field of agriculture? Could you please explain us about that?
So as I was telling, I specialize in HR right after school, administration and HR. So in the meantime, I was also helping my parents with their business. And at that time, it was actually not a choice to get into agriculture because I was not into agriculture. I was, what happened was the product that we were doing at our business was totally different. We were into home products. We used to import some of the latest bathroom accessories and other items like glass blocks, which are really new to the market at that time. Then what happened was the market was saturated. It was getting saturated with more people coming in for the same product, and it was a bit hard to sustain. So then we were looking into other avenues, and it was at that time that one of my father's friends who was in Thailand introduced him to this micro irrigation as a product, because he knew another friend as well who was doing it. So what happened is that my father went there. I think I mentioned, I'm not sure, he's Siddeeq. I think many people might know him if they're in the social work network or agri field. So he went there and he investigated, and then he saw that this is a nice product because he's interested in environment and plants as well, although our business was totally different. Then he wanted to bring this technology to the country, and we diversified and slowly moved on from the home products. We're still doing that, but from there we moved on and put more focus on the agriculture side. And it was through necessity that I got into this agri field. Yeah, so it was because of that. 1 minute. So then after that, sorry, there's a small connection issue. Yeah. So what, why I was interested in is because I'm also interested in the environment as well. And I also did a landscaping course. So within that time, we learned a lot about plants, not only horticulture, but plants, how to design a garden, how to design a farm, how to take care of them, their nutrient demands, their soil requirements, and everything. So when this micro irrigation came, it was very interesting because micro irrigation also was part of the subject of landscaping. We require that as well. So it was easy for me to pick up because when you are doing micro irrigation, you should also know about the plant and what its water requirements are. So that is basically how I got into micro irrigation, and the rest of it is all by experience, work experience, that we learned a lot. And to tell you the truth, most of the staff in our management are actually from different fields, and then they got into micro irrigation and they have learned through that. But most of our managers and employees all have agri qualifications. They are diploma holders and degree holders, and also interns who come out from the agri schools. So we have a good team there that is very knowledgeable in the subject, and as well as other aspects like us, like we are well versed in other areas as well, and it helps us to do our work and to proceed in the agriculture field. So basically that is how we got into agriculture.
Yeah, and
I got
that's
into
nice.
agriculture.
That's nice. And everyone, when we compare, like including myself, choose to follow a field that is common, which is common, can be either medicine, accounts, whatever, any other, like, you know, I have known doctors, I have known teachers, I have known accountants, and so on. They are all common fields. What has inspired you to pursue in this field? As you already told, you have done a business, and what inspired you in the field of agriculture and not choose a common field?
It's like this. Yes, as you say, there are trends. There are trends during certain periods, I think, because children don't know what to do. You know, once there was a trend when you get out of school, especially when you leave school, girls, they are pretty much clueless as to, okay, what do I do next? Okay, so those days it was like, okay, you have to join a cookery class, okay, and you have to learn to bake a cake. You have to learn to do sewing. So those were some of the trends that were going. And on the academic side, I would say their mothers wanted their daughters to get qualified to be doctors and lawyers. Of course, some do have an interest for it. They have a passion for it and they join. But some just join because the parents tell, okay, and plus it is a marriage qualification as well. Like, okay, my daughter is this and that. And then, you know, you get more star points for those in the marriage market as well. But then after doing the courses, unfortunately, I have seen where some girls are not allowed to go to work, you know. So we still have some of the social issues. Yeah, so why I didn't get into a field is because actually, I didn't have an interest in those. Not that I didn't like it. I was very much into nutrition. I wanted to do a nutrition course, but I couldn't find a proper nutrition course. Then I got into business admin because, I mean, when I looked at those subjects, it covered a lot. You know, it just covered management as well as marketing, HR. It covered a lot. So I got into business administration, and then I got into HR through that, because while I was doing that, they had closed, they had so many issues in Javadanpura, because it's very, I would say the local university is not as smooth as the other countries. There's so many roadblocks, but it was supposed to take 3 years, would take like 4 to 5 years sometimes. So
Exactly.
Yes. So I just got into the HR field as well. But even that, I would say at that time, it was not common. But I did it because I liked it, you know, because I mean, now HR is a trending thing. But earlier it was not. It was something that it went as actually personal management. It was not called human resources. It was called personal management. And usually men only went to that field I mean, according to my understanding at that time. So, so I would say I just did because I liked it. And I also did marketing because I liked it. Because even before that, doing HR, I thought, okay, I would like to do marketing as well, because marketing also helps you in the long run, and it can help you in any field. You have to market yourself in any field. So since I did all of that, I kind of got an all-round thing. And agriculture, it's a good thing that you asked me how I got into it, because I don't think it's still a trend. We have to make it a trend among the common people and among different people of different statuses, because simply because it's very important field, and I think that we should promote it, though it is not a trending thing. So yeah, so I think I got into it because I had to, because of the business, and because I also like to promote this field. I want to help the people. I think a lot of people have a misconception about agriculture, because they think those days it was only for farmers. I don't know, other people still think like that. It's for farmers, and it's kind of, if you tell I'm a grower or I'm a farmer, there's a small stigma attached to it. But you should see the customers who come to our business. They are from different fields. They are not just doing only their farming. They're doing farming as a side business. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers who do this. Okay, and even for, I think, our community, the Muslim community, I see there's a lack of it, because in the East Coast and even in Mana and all, they do farming. Muslim community is involved in farming, but it is mostly done out of a need or necessity, and not with a proper knowledge. And we do have students as well. I was trying to get the data for the program, the current data, but I couldn't do that. We have students as well who are in farming. So we know that because they come to our organization to get training. We do training as well at our organization, like one of the few organizations who provide training in this industry. So out of that, the number of female students is very less. So like we're speaking to sisters here, right? I would like them to take a small interest in agriculture, because this is going to help you someday. It's going to help you even generate an income at home. It's very easy. I can explain, how to set up your own home garden, and you should be able to provide enough food, or at least the green vegetables and nutrients that you need in your own backyard, rather than spending money at the shop for that. And if you want to go large scale, if you have a piece of land, no matter even if it is in the outskirts or rural areas, you will be able to get food for yourself as well as a mean of income, growing something a little extra and selling it. And you can go large scale as well. I mean, when we look at our customers, we see there is different target groups, from home gardeners to large scale farmers to people who grow in polytunnels. So I think don't stick to a field that everyone is doing. I know now the trending field is like, I think probably psychology. Everyone wants to do it. It's a very good field because as just like HR, that would help you in anything. So please continue with that. But in the meantime, don't be afraid to get into fields that others are not doing. Just search, because I think the career guidance, children should get more avenues in career guidance programs rather than, selecting a field to do accountancy, business, or becoming a doctor. Those are the common fields, even in career guidance programs, which are promoted, the common fields. If you want to be a doctor, this is what you should do. An engineer, this is what you should do. But at the moment, especially with social marketing, and especially with the technology that we have, there's a lot of other fields that our youth can get into, and as well as the women, the females, who we can also get into. There are a lot of other fields, and agriculture and gardening and landscaping is one of those fields, I would say. So try it out.
Okay, then that was a sure thing and an informative one actually. And then coming to one of the important questions. So the answer would help a lot of Muslim women out there. Being a Muslim woman, it is very difficult for us to go out of the boundary, and there is a setup, the orthodox setup, where we cannot go out, or where we cannot achieve our dreams, and there is control. We are taken control by many people, so it is very difficult, and we face a lot of challenges. We have to overcome a lot of obstacles in order to achieve what we want. How were you able to overcome this? I'm sure you must have faced a lot of challenges in your life too. How were you able to overcome these obstacles and challenges in life?
Okay. So yes, that's a very good question. Women, especially, not only women, like I think anybody in any field would have challenges, but more so if you are a woman, and more so if you are a Muslim woman, because our society is such, the way we brought up is such. So I do understand the issues that we have. Challenges is like this: we have to change. Our society has to change, not just the Muslim girl, but even their parents, the community. We have to change. And because Islam does not stop us, I have always said that it is not Islam that limits us. It's the community and the society that limits us. May it be from our own community or even society. Like if you wear a hijab, you might not have the same opportunities that another woman is getting, especially even at an interview or anything. Because there's a stigma. If you want to do sports, you have to wear a certain uniform. So there's some blockages like that. At the same time, from our Muslim community, we are very protected. We can't go out much. And people say, they might tell stories, and then your reputation, and it's hard to find a husband if you're doing these things. But I would say, take a chance and give space for women. Of course, the girls should know to not misuse the opportunities that are given by their families and by their religion and religious values. They should know to protect those values and still go out, because I know there are plenty of women who are doctors, who are nurses, engineers, who are Muslim, okay? And not only that, even in the agri field, I know there are some agriculture directors. I said there are few women, few Muslim women in this area, but I know that they have gone to the top, because I know some of these agriculture directors who are female, and also agriculture instructors, and they are doing a massive contribution in their own community. Like say if it's like some community, even Trinco, Manor, all those places, like some of the ladies that I know, they are doing a big contribution. So sometimes people will say it's not safe, you know, to go here and there. It's not safe to go anywhere these days, actually. If not, it doesn't mean just for Muslim women. Like all women do face harassment and everything, but Muslim women, I feel they're a little more protected. They are, because of our dress and because of our manners. Sometimes people don't want to do, you know, take us for granted or do any hanky panky. They always keep a little distance. So I'm telling that's a good thing. Keep the distance, but still do your studies. Try to get employed, and I would say even the husbands to please try to support your wife in doing these things, because when before she got married, she had a lot of dreams and ambitions. And once she gets married, it's like she has to let go everything and put that in a box, close it up, and then, you know, sacrifice those for another person. So I think you can balance both, but there has to be the husband support as well, and the parents support, and I think you can do that. And especially married women, I know the challenges faced by married women, because we have to not only take care of our work, we have to take care of our kids as well, and that is not easy. So there are challenges. I overcome it. I mean, I do have 3 kids, so during work hours, after school especially, I send them over to my mom's place, and she takes care of them, and they also love to go there because like it's a break, it's like an outing for them, you know, daily. So they love to do that, and then they come in the evening. So if we can arrange a support network like that around us, so that we can focus on our work as well, I think it would be okay. Because in Sri Lanka, it's not like going and working abroad. If you're abroad, you are totally on your own. You had to put your child to daycare, and then you have to do your work and then pick the child, and then the child also loses that community and family feeling, you know. But in Sri Lanka, we are more family centric. We have a support system around us, our families, relatives, parents, you know. So I think it's important to be among them and let the children also involve in them, and then later on they will also be able to stand up on their own and help us. So those are some of the challenges as a Muslim woman, I would say. Yeah, so that is what I can say about it.
Yeah, that was really valuable. That was a really valuable answer. And a woman plays the main role in the house. She has to balance between her work life and her family life. A woman plays a role, she plays a vast role actually. Role of a daughter, role of a mother, role of a good wife, and sometimes a chef, a good teacher, a guide. She has a very big role, actually a vast area. And you, as mentioned, if I'm not wrong, is a mother of 3, and you should have been able to balance between this. How are you managing this actually with your children, with your family, and then the work life? How do you balance this actually? You can give a...
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, when you have 1 kid, okay, it's easy, but when you have 3 active ones, then it's not very easy, and especially about the gaps that I have are quite vast. So my elder son has totally different requirements, and my younger 2 have totally different requirements. So I was thinking it's maybe easier, especially for working women, to get all the children in a small span, and then you can focus on them. And once they come to a little age, you can, go back to work. But in our case, there are women who do that. They take a break from work. But in our case, when you're having your own business, it's not easy to just let go. You can't let go something that is your own. You have to involve in it no matter what. So I didn't get a particular maternity leave as such, because during maternity also I was doing checking some daily work. Whereas I get an extended maternity leave as well, because the others have to return to work at a particular time. They get only so many days of maternity leave. Whereas I had the opportunity, because it was our own organization, I could drag it out and work part-time. So even right now, I'm not working full 8 hours. I work part-time. So I go and check in the morning, do some supervision, then come back and then go in the afternoon. So I have flexible hours. So if you all are doing work other than, with the government or medical profession or something, if you are doing different kind of work, especially home industries, try to fix your schedule and time. And I think it will be quite manageable then, especially like taking kids for classes and all that. So sometimes I drop the kid at class and I might go to do some of the office work outside and then come and pick. So if you're doing your own business or if you're doing a home industry, you have that option. If not, then I would say I don't recommend taking a break from work, but if you can do that, it's good, because then the early childhood is not ignored. We have to spend some time with them. But then once they're on their own, once they can eat on their own, dress on their own, stay alone for a couple of hours, then they're on their own, means they're independent, and then you can fully focus on your work again. And when it comes to the agri field, now there are, as I said, there are opportunities for women to get into home gardening, because we really want to promote home gardening. So then you can easily arrange your time around those activities. Like say morning you do some activities, take a break, see your kids, and then in the evening you can do a certain other activities as well regarding planting or growing or tending to plants, so that is where I think our company also comes, because we try to use the technology, agri-technology, to make it as easy as possible for as many people to attend to your gardening or agriculture. So City Gardens is always into that. So that is, I think, answers your question.
Yeah, it should have been helpful to our listeners, to all the women out there. And then now moving on to the main thing, what are the projects that you have undertaken now? Can you just give us a brief insight about? And as you mentioned, you are a pioneer in micro irrigation. And what other projects have you undertaken? And are there volunteer opportunities for other people in future? It
Yes.
can be government sector or private sector.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, the main business that we are handling at the moment is City Gardens. And our slogan is towards a greener, cleaner, productive, and pleasant environment. So that is in a nutshell what City Gardens is. Innovative, inspiring nation through innovative agri-technology solutions. So we do micro irrigation. This is protected agriculture. And then this is tree planting. Our business. So agriculture is a responsibility of every citizen. So one of the slogans that we have is it's not just, as I told you, to a particular sector, and there's a stigma where only farmers who are covered in mud and doing those kind of planting work. No, agriculture with the modern technology is actually it's a very very important and a field that people should be encouraged to get into. So one of our slogans is from home garden to from school garden to home garden and home garden to farmland, because we want to introduce it at the grassroots level so that children get interested in plants and planting and, you know, putting a seed and waiting and watching to see it grow and, you know, the flowers and the fruits coming of it. So they tend to learn those things from the very small stage. So through schools, we have actually done a lot of schools. You were asking about the projects we have done. So some of the projects we did, it is a lot of tree planting projects through schools. We have distributed thousands of plants at the moment to schools where they can plant it in school, some of them, and some of them were given to take to their homes and plant. We also started a concept called Miyawaki forest, which is a foresting technique where you forest in a small piece of land as small as 10 perches. You can create a forest in your backyard. So those kind of Miyawaki forests were introduced at school level as well. And then we also teach the children how to do their home garden with this new watering technology and all. And we promote green living. So that is beautifying the environment. And, you know, there are public spaces that are wasted. Nobody takes care of them. So some of the spaces we have, you know, gone and planted trees. And now within a few years, there's tall trees that are providing shade. And it's beautiful, like some of the roads, when you go through Dambulla, the main road, you know, because we have a branch at Dambulla. We did a project there with the mayor. So from the junction onto the road that goes, I can't remember, is it Digana? No, yeah, one of those roads. So along that, we had planted a lot of kaya trees. And now within like 5 years, they have grown like over 20 feet. And they are providing shade, and it's very beautiful. So those are some of the projects that we do. And also we go ethical pricing because we want to make this affordable to all. Of course, we have to maintain our quality as well. So when we import one of the best qualities, we can't give it as cheap as some of the local products or some things that are manufactured in China or something that is a lower grade. But the pricing that we have is one price, one country, one price policy. So all our branches and dealers should be selling at the same price that we have introduced to. So these are the areas that we are promoting. As you can see, home gardens, urban agriculture, vertical garden, landscaping, poultry farming, cooling systems. So our technology helps all these target groups. And on the side, you can see some pictures as well. They are very diverse. I think some words for these are people or viewers. Some words might be new, like urban agriculture, vertical garden, mini forests, you know. So I think what I would encourage is do a little research, because now the internet has so much of information. It was not like before. You don't have to go to a library just to get the information. So I can explain too. I don't have a lot of time to explain on this program, but I will explain. So these are some of our products. This is called a pop-up irrigation, which is used to water plants or lawns, to water lawns. So it's underground, it's buried underground, and once you open the tap, the head comes up, waters, and it goes back into the ground. Then there's another one called rain or gun sprinkler. That is, it covers a vast area. You have to have a good water pressure with a pump or something. And if you do that, you can cover a vast area with one of these sprinklers. Then we have rain sprayers, because some plants, as I told you, the water requirement and how you supply the water is very important for different plants. So some plants that are shorter, like especially green vegetables, leafy vegetables, they need the plants watering at a lower level, and for it to be moist, the whole surface to be moist. Unlike the drip irrigation, as you can see, it goes through the tubes, and only near the plant, there's a little nozzle where the water goes drop by drop into the soil and absorbed by the roots. But for the rain spray, the entire area gets wet. So the water is more on the surface, keeping the surface cool, and it wets the leaves as well. Whereas drip irrigation is used for individual plants and taller and larger plants where you don't need to wet the leaves, but the water has to go into the root. So these are some of the differences. Then again, we have drip tape. This is drip tape and mulch film. This is a strawberry cultivation that is done locally, I think. This is another product that we have at City Gardens. That is drip tape and mulch film, the first picture. Mulch film is a kind of a film that you put as a ground cover. So that's a silver film that you see, and what happens in that is it controls the weeds, and where there are only the plants, we cut a hole so that we can insert the plants, and then we use the drip tape to water only where is required. The next picture is a polytunnel. The polytunnel on the left is that is what we call protected agriculture. So we use polytunnels to protect plants from the rain as well as the wind. So with the protected agriculture, you are able to plant throughout the year. You know, you don't need to do when the rain is there, when the rain is not there, because some they have mahakanna, yalakanna like that for the paddy. But even for vegetables, they have seasons. But what happens in protected agriculture is that you don't need to have a particular season. You can have a year-round yield because there is no adverse effect from rain or wind, and the water is supplied continuously throughout the year. So by using protected agriculture and these polytunnels, we can have a very much improved yield throughout the year. Then we also introduce urban agriculture, which is very important, and which is what I would like to speak to you all and our sisters in Colombo especially, because in towns rather than rural areas, there's very limited space. Most of us lives in apartments or very small spaces where we don't have any big space to do a cultivation as such. So what we can do is vertical gardening and urban agriculture, where we can use our own balconies and rooftops to do gardening as well as to plant vegetables, and that is sufficient for you. So ground cover is another product just like the mulch film. The next one is this plant support net. That is where we have nets where we can put creepers to climb upwards, like certain of this is a kind of a pea, as well as beans and all that, where it has to go up vertically. So we use a plant support net, and then we are able to plant a lot of plants nearby using grow bags, and grow bags are specially useful for areas like rooftops, and where you can't grow the plant in the ground. Grow bags are very helpful, and even people use plants in their backyard. Even if they have it, they use grow bags because it can be moved from place to place, your plant. Then we also have something called hydroponics, which is growing plants with a soilless medium. That is, you give we don't grow plants in soil. We grow plants in a unit that is supplied only with water. And we introduce the nutrients into the water, and through that the plant gets nourished. So all this can happen using automated systems, because nowadays people, they are out most of the time, especially they go to work and they still need to tend to their plants. So we use the automated systems you don't need to manually be there to on your system. We use a timer, so you can use these timers and set it to say twice a day for 5 minutes, and then your entire garden or your entire land will be irrigated. And now the timers are so advanced that you can even use this from your phone. There's a software that you can use. You can set it with your timer. So even if you have gone to from Colombo to Jaffna, Trinco, or Kandy, you can still use your phone to on your timer at your house in Colombo. So that is how much the technology has grown, and that is why we are trying to reintroduce this technology, to users, and we want to expand this for home gardens as well, because it's nowadays I think more people are getting into growing their own food. I seem to have lost the connection again. So we have some, the next slide, sorry, you can't see it right now, but it's some of our customers, and we have done some really significant projects. So when it comes to home gardening, we have done some big names like Kishan Bralendra's place. Also Mr. Damika Pereira's residence, Mr. Ashra Verma from Brandix, his residence. And there are so many of our customers who are into home gardening and micro irrigation, who have used our products and satisfied. So what I can say is we try to use this new technology because it's worth it. Though there's an initial investment, that investment, when you look at the returns of it, you will not, it won't be a loss for you, because it saves labor. Now say you have a farm and you have to employ 3 people, and all the job that they do basically is watering the plants and holding the hose half of the day. So those number of hours you can cut by putting a system that is continuously there. So though the initial investment is there, the convenience is there, the time is saved, because every morning all you have to do is just on the tap and then on it, and then you can go and do your work and come back and off it, So there are easy methods that we can use, and I would say we currently are promoting it, a lot of home gardening as well, through these vertical units I showed you on rooftops and all that. So if you all want more advice apart from this program, you can please call me or call us. We have salespersons who can talk in all 3 languages. So you can call us and get the details, and then we can help you regarding it.
Yes,
Anything?
thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair. That was a detailed information about your company and your projects. And I hope a lot of people might have benefited might have been benefited through this. And coming to the main point, last but not least, in the country, unfortunately, we Sri Lankans are facing a very big economic crisis. Due to the
Yes.
prevailing situation, most of us, everyone, is facing difficulty in finding good meal, a meal a day. So I hope home gardening is a good solution, a better alternative for this crisis. How can we make use of the space? Either it can be a smaller or a larger space at home. How can we use a home garden uh, to make it a source of food? Like due to the economic crisis now, this can help a lot of people.
Yes. So that's a really good topic. Question that you asked. It's what is happening now is the unawareness. Because there are many people with lot of space and lot of, I would say, lot of land space also, as well as lot of wasted space in buildings that can be utilized to produce food. So as I said before, when they said, Sagin Kenawa, and we are going to face a famine in this country by August, September 2022, we will not have food and people will be dying. That hype in the media that was put out, I don't agree with it, because even though the experts said it, it's already December, and we are surviving. Why is that? Because this land is so blessed. No matter where you are, the earth is not like something that is in Africa, where people are actually facing famine. They can't plant. Their soil is so hard, but here you put a seed, you buy a cucumber from the market, you come, eat, and put those seeds in the ground. It will grow. It just takes days to grow. All you need to put is water. The sand is already, the soil is already rich in this country. So I don't agree that anyone, no matter how poor they are, that they will actually face a famine like that, unless they actually don't know what to do, and unless they put an effort into it. You have to put an effort, and someone has to educate. So that is what we are trying to do. We are trying to educate people how to make use of the things that we have, and from City Gardens, how we can support is, we can support you with the soil, because we sell soil as well. We have potting mix, we have compost, and we have the grow bags. I think you saw the grow bags in the previous slides that I showed you earlier with the timer. You can, even if you don't have soil, you can buy the soil nowadays, not like before. You can buy the soil even and put it on your balcony. So actually I have done some of my balcony gardening as well. So I have a few packets, and I was so happy that day that I saw some flowers, and now I have some chilies, and tomatoes are on the way. So it's like that, there's a joy in planting it and seeing it grow, and a joy that to eat something that you have planted. So in this economic situation, what I can tell is, we have to teach people how to grow their own food. We have to give them the right technology. It's not like before. I saw a clip on TV where these people, they were really in a small, they were in a very poor looking house, like it was crumbling. And she was so upset. She's saying, "Ape lamai kola kala tamai me eda kola kala tamai me jeevat une apita bat naha." you know I think people can understand the Sinhala that I'm speaking. There's like apita but එක වේලක්වත් නැහැ. ඒක වේල තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ඒක තමයි අපි රැයටයි දවල්ටයි බෙදලා කන්නේ. අනිත් වෙලාවට අපි ගහෙන් කොළ කපනවා, කඩලා කනවා, අපි කුස් කනවා, So the Sinhalese lady was telling. So then I was thinking, what is wrong with that? People have the I think a wrong notion to think that it is wrong to eat kwas, to eat leaves. It's a good thing. And we the Sri Lankan society on the whole, we are like totally focused on eating rice as our staple food, when there are a lot of other options. There are a lot of other healthy options other than rice. So a person, of course, if they're used to eating 3 meals of rice a day, moving away from that is going to be a little hard. But here, especially in Sri Lanka, where it's a Buddhist country, they are very focused on vegetarian food. We have the resources for that, and we have so many options. Like you can make flour out of even jack, you can make flour out of coconut, you can make flour out of yams, then you can make them like little jalapenos and eat for morning or whatever. Like it's not easy to obtain them in the cities, but in rural countries where those people were starving, they did have options. They were living in a beautiful garden. I wouldn't say beautiful, but they were living in a house with a garden with trees, but still they didn't know to help themselves. So I think even in our own Muslim community that happens. I would say I have visited many places, and I would say we don't know how to arrange the place accordingly, according to the means and our need. Because I know many of our homes, they are just their homes inside. They have a lot of warmth and family and everything, but outside the house, they do not pay attention. So since I was into landscaping as well, when I visit these places, I was thinking it's just the home and the step outside, and then just the brown earth. Why can't we? It doesn't cost much. Take a little plants, flowering plants, and put a, on the front of our house. You know, just to put a little hedge of flowers. And on the side now, what we are promoting is also with the landscape gardens to incorporate vegetable plants. So we are trying, like I used to give ideas to some people where, if you have a beautiful landscape garden even, and only formal looking trees, instead of just flowers, in between you can plant chili. There are decorative kind of chilies like purple chilies, and even the red ones are nice. In between, you, instead of just putting a flowering creeper, you can put a creeper with beans, you can put a creeper with cucumber, and tomatoes among your flowering plants. Then you get more insects, in the sense, butterflies and bees that spread the pollen also. So it's a lot of there's a lot of connection between nature and especially our community. I would encourage them to, it doesn't cost much, to take a little interest in decorating their homes and to decorate their gardens, because they do have that resource. I know many homes, they have the resource, but they don't know how that, instead of keeping just a brown earth in their land, they don't know that it is beautiful to have, instead of just, what I see is like they put in front of the house also, in little packets like kiri packet and all that, they put plants, or they have pots, like say there are 5 pots in front of the house, but all those pots look different. They are different sizes, different colors, and they are not clean. It only takes a little effort to uh, make it more beautiful by, say, using the same kind of pots and just taking a little paint and painting it. Yeah, you want black pots, okay, paint all the pots in black, and then put different kind of plants in it and in a row, then randomly placing here and there in your garden, and there you have your landscape. So I think even landscaping is very important to beautify the environment as well as your home. And I wish I could go to more places and speak about this to our community, because we don't pay much attention to that beautification, because maybe we think, okay, this is just dunya and all that, but then Allah has said you have to ask for a beautiful life in this world as well as the next. So Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azaban nar. So the Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya is the first thing he's telling to ask for, you know. So we should be able to make our lives beautiful, as well as, we can sustain, we can grow some things to eat for ourselves, and that sustenance is also there. So I wish I could encourage more people and more of our ladies to just step out tomorrow morning and look around your garden and see, okay, can I help myself? Then beg, you know, don't just go and beg. I see a lot of people, they spend, women, okay, in Colombo especially, they spend like the entire day on the road begging. They're not at their homes doing something that they can actually help their lives with. They can actually grow something and eat some healthy food, but they would rather beg on the road and try to get some money from someone else the easy way. It's not easy, I don't know, it's in the sun and everything, but still they don't take that effort. So I wish I could encourage more people to just step out and just see, can I save myself? Can I make my beautiful garden more beautiful? Can I give something more healthy for my children? Don't need to eat rice every meal or every day. One day switch it. I mean, my kids will be really happy if I don't give them rice for lunch, but I do give, because they don't have a proper breakfast while they're in school. I mean, a meal in school. So when they come, I have to give rice. But they would be more than happy if I don't give rice. If I give anything else, they'll be happy. But some people, they actually can't afford rice, but they can use an alternate. Eat some yams. It's not bad to eat yams for breakfast or lunch. It's not bad. But some people have the stigma. I need to eat pan. Otherwise, my breakfast is not done. Or I need to eat rice for lunch. Otherwise, my children don't have anything. Like, try to eat more green leaves, and I'm promoting to eat less rice and more of the veggies and greens, because that is a more healthy diet. We at our home, like my home and parents' home, we eat a lot of salad, lot of soups and green leaves every day. So I think that is a more healthy option, because on the whole, our food, our community, it's like starting from the top biryani, it's rice and meat. Okay, and then the normal shoru, even say the kiru shoru, there's not a single green vegetable in it, you know. So of course on occasions you can eat like that, it's meat and, you know, kalia, that is also tempered and fried and everything, then the potato, but then where is the vegetable? So as a community we eat lesser vegetables, I believe. Sometimes it's just rice, meat, paripu and something, you know. So introduce one kind of leaf, at least one kind of vegetable at least to your meal, in addition to what you all have normally been eating. And the best way to do and the cheapest way to do is grow it in your own garden. And from City Gardens, we can support you with ideas, and we can support you with the materials to do that. We can even support you with the technical. Oh, I wanted to tell another thing. I have missed out on that. That is, we conduct training programs on micro irrigation. So we used to do that on a monthly basis. And because of COVID, we stopped it. We want to revive it again. We have one-day workshops teaching you A to Z of micro irrigation. What is micro irrigation? How to use it? How to design it in your own home, or for your garden, or for your lawn, landscape, everything. So y'all can register with City Gardens if you all like. We will be having another program in November, inshallah, and December, hopefully. We want to have an online program as well for those who can't come. But it's not as successful as having a full day physical program, by looking at the product and touching the product and seeing how they draw and explain and everything. So I would encourage even our women, if you all want to have a group program, we can arrange it from City Gardens. If you have any people who are interested to join, like 20 or more, we can come there, or we can get them down here and arrange a program for them here as well.
Yes,
So it's
Jazakumullah
okay.
khairan. That was such a wonderful and valuable explanation, and I hope a lot of people can
Yes,
it benefited a lot of people listening to this. And there's a
I would.
lot more to talk. There's no limit, but unfortunately time doesn't permit us to talk about I mean in a vast area. Anyway, sister, jazakumullah khairan for what you have shared, and I would like to mention that in this busy monotonous routine you have been able to make time for us and make time for us from your precious time, and thanking you very much for that. And you have taken into consideration about educating people, educating the society about this, and you are also doing such a great job to the society. We are very happy about that, alhamdulillah. And once again I would like to thank you, sister Hishama. Jazakumullah khairan for sharing your valuable ideas and your time with us. Thanking you very much. Jazakumullah khairan.
For inviting me, for you, sister, for taking time, sister Zara, and also sister Nuzaila, who is unable to attend today. I'm really sorry. I wish her well. I'm glad that I got this opportunity to not just speak about me. I would have liked to speak less about me and more about the subject and promotion of this. And I'm really sorry in the meantime that I've been having technical issues today. So I had to actually switch the location because of that. I apologize for that. And I would love to give my support. So if any of you all like to further continue this or have a further program on this, I would definitely like to support, and especially your community and ladies. I would encourage them, as I said, to plant more, and any advice that they need, we have our people who are able to speak in 3 languages who can help them. So please contact us. It's actually a service, and we have. I also wanted to tell that we are also into tree planting. We have at the moment planted. Let me tell you the numbers. I'm really sorry I had to take another minute for this, but this is important. Yeah. So we have planted over 27,000 trees since February 2021 in 7 districts. We have done the plant distribution and planted trees, and we have also planted trees. We have a project in Ottamavadi, which is actually done by donors, especially people who have relatives buried in Ottamavadi COVID burial ground. They have done their sadaqah through this tree planting. So at the moment in Ottamavadi, we have planted 2,500 trees that we are going to use this as to plant, to beautify the place and give shade to the space, because it's just an open ground. We have planted with the support of donors, because a lot of people donate to us for these projects. These are CSR projects. And Alhamdulillah, and may Allah bless the donors as well for their contribution. We have planted over 10,000 trees in the Musadi area only. Also 1,000 trees in the burial ground itself. So like that, we have, these are just few places that we mentioned. So if there are any donors who would like to do a sadaqah, or who would like to beautify the environment and be green warriors, they may donate for these plants, because we mostly work with these donations. And City Gardens, we provide the expertise and the logistics for that. So I encourage you all to do tree planting as well. Sorry for taking an extra 2 minutes.
No, that's okay. That was really a great news. And we are very happy that you're doing such a great service. May Allah bless you and your family.
There's more than me. I'm just the back office, but it's actually my father who is in the forefront of the CSR projects.
Yeah.
Mr. Siddeeq. So, and our teams. Yes.
Yeah, may Allah bless your father, your family, and your team with wealth and health, inshallah. Thanking you very much, sister. It was great having such a beautiful time with you, an informative session today. And I'm very happy I could be a part of this too. Thanking you very much. And I would like to thank Thasbeeh Media, Brother Altaf and Sister Sarah for giving me this opportunity today. And hoping to see you all in another beautiful session with another inspiring woman. This is Shazna Parvin Shamsdeen signing off from today's program. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.